Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Rishi called the matchmaker and listed all the qualities he wants in a man for Lakshmi. But only Rishi has all those qualities, and Shalu and Ayush made fun of Malishka. So let's continue from there. Ayush tells Sonia that he is happy to be Lakshmi's puppet, but Sonia is whose puppet? The puppet of Malishka. Shalu laughs and comments. Sonia gets up and she gets angry. Ayush asks her to talk to him. Sonia asks him to keep his joke to himself. Virendra comes there and Ayush says Lakshmi's sister-in-law's marriage talk is going on. Rishi says, I will search for a guy like Diamond for Lakshmi. Virendra says this thing wouldn't have happened if you had not done the mistake you did with Malishka, and I wouldn't have let you and Lakshmi get separated. Lakshmi and Rishi looks at each other and Malishka looks on. Karishma tells Neelam that the guy that Rishi is searching for cannot be found. Until then, Rishi will not get Lakshmi married and Lakshmi will dance on their heads. Neelam says, I'm bearing Lakshmi due to Rishi, but not for much time. Karishma says, what if Rishi threatens to leave the house again? Neelam says, I cannot lose my precious son due to Lakshmi, so I will not allow that. Malishka comes there and asks Neelam if she will marry Rishi or not, because she will tell the matchmaker to search for a guy for her because Rishi is available for Lakshmi. Neelam says Rishi is just yours. Rishi thinks that what more do I need to add to the quality of the guy for Lakshmi? Lakshmi takes his phone and asks that where will you find such a guy that you are looking for, and she asks if Rishi will get her married or not. Rishi says of course and says that is why I am searching for a guy for you. Lakshmi says to Rishi that where will you find the perfect guy that you are looking for, and she asks him to get her married to any guy. Rishi says I'm searching for the perfect guy and I will get him. Lakshmi says even if you find the perfect guy, but why would the perfect guy like me? Rishi says to Lakshmi that the perfect guy will like you because you are the best, then why will he refuse? Lakshmi says I am a divorcee. Rishi says you are a divorcee just on the papers and says art and compatibility matters and it doesn't matter how many times a person is married. Neelam tells Malishka that we are with you. Karishma says yes. Malishka says Virendra uncle, grandma, Ayush, Devika and Ahana doesn't want my marriage to happen with Rishi, but they are helpless and she doubts if she would ever get married to Rishi. Neelam asks Malishka not to doubt her. Malishka says, I don't doubt you because if I am alive, then it is because of you, and says you are like my mom and you cannot see me sad. Karishma asks Malishka not to be insecure. Malishka says Rishi cares for Lakshmi and he is not leaving Lakshmi even when their marriage is decided, and says, how do I bear everything? Karishma says to Malishka that I understand everything that you are going through, and she asks her to think positive. She asks her to wait for some more time and says you love Rishi so much and your love is not a drama like Lakshmi, so Rishi will be yours, and she assures Malishka. Rishi jokes and he asks Lakshmi not to argue with him. He asks her to see herself from his side and says that you are caring and loving and you can do anything for your husband. He then says that whoever marries you, his luck will brighten, and he tells her that many guys like caring and loving wife like you, and he asks her to see that he will find the luckiest person for her. Rishi takes his phone from Lakshmi and he is going. Lakshmi thinks that I was married to you and you got me. Rishi turns to her and signals to her to smile. Lakshmi smiles and a song plays in the background. Lakshmi thinks of how to make Rishi understand, and she thinks that I cannot go away from here, else Rishi will leave too. She thinks that she doesn't want to stay here and she doesn't want to get married too. Malishka comes to Rishi and asks that what is in Lakshmi. She asks if Lakshmi is Miss Universe or Miss World, and she asks if she is an angel who is out of the world. Rishi says what Lakshmi is, and he thinks of his moment with Lakshmi. Malishka asks who is Lakshmi. Rishi says Lakshmi is the best girl in the world and there's nobody like her, and Malishka is shocked. Malishka asks Rishi if she is not beautiful. Rishi says you are beautiful, but you are not unique like Lakshmi. Malishka asks if Rishi is fooling her and says if Lakshmi was the best, then she wouldn't have divorced you. She asks Rishi that if Lakshmi's marriage did not happen, then would you have married Lakshmi again? Rishi is silent and he goes away from there, and Malishka thinks that what is going on. Ayush asks Shalu that what happened because their relationship is fine. Shalu says I'm talking about brother-in-law and my sister. Ayush says this thing will not go for long, and then Rishi and sister-in-law will marry again. Shalu says, but brother-in-law wants to marry Malishka. Ayush says Rishi doesn't want to marry Malishka. Malishka hears them. Shalu says brother-in-law really wants to marry Malishka. Ayush says Rishi wants to marry Malishka because of his mistake, and Malishka hears them. Lakshmi gets hot while walking. Rishi lifts her and takes her to the room. Shalu says to Ayush that Rishi divorced Lakshmi, but he will not marry her again. Ayush says he is sure that nothing had happened between Rishi and Malishka, and if they can prove this, then Rishi will marry Lakshmi again. Shalu says even she is sure that Rishi is innocent, but how would they prove this? Ayush goes to drop Shalu at home, and Malishka thinks that they are the danger to her life now. Rishi brings spray to heal Lakshmi's pain and sprays on her foot. He says, I am massaging you, and then you will run. Lakshmi says, what if anyone sees this? Then she asks Rishi to go. Rishi says, let them see, and he massages Lakshmi's foot. Karishma gets upset seeing it, and she thinks that she should deal with Lakshmi first, and she knows how to deal with people like her. Abe asked Kiran what she was doing when Rishi brought Lakshmi home. Kiran says Rishi wants to get Lakshmi married to someone else. Abe asks that why did Rishi take up Lakshmi's responsibility. Malishka comes there and says Rishi did it so that Lakshmi can stay with him. She says Lakshmi is not going and says that she tried so much and she was about to commit suicide, and says Lakshmi is the bad luck in Rishi's life and she will take my life too. Abe asks Malishka not to say negative things to herself. Malishka says Lakshmi refused to marry Balvinda and Rishi brought her back home. Lakshmi asks Rishi to go away from her room. Rishi asks that why are you shouting at me, and says that he did not come to stay there. He says I can stay here because you couldn't walk properly. Lakshmi throws pillow at him and Rishi runs away from there. Malishka tells Abe that Lakshmi made Rishi mad after her and says that Rishi is searching for a perfect guy who is not yet born. She tells Kiran and Abe that she might die one day. Kiran says, why will you die for someone's mistake? Malishka says, I'm very scared and I don't know if I will marry Rishi or not. Abe says we will not drown coming to the seashore. He says Malishka will get her happiness soon and says that Malishka has bear so much and she has bear Rishi's mistake also. He says he will do something. Malishka asks, really? Abe says, surely, I will do something for my daughter, and when I do something, I win. Karishma goes to her room and made call asking if Ari has gotten married. She comes to know that he is not married yet, and she says that there is an alliance for him, and the girl's name is Lakshmi. She ends the call and smiles. Rishi collides with Lakshmi and asks if she is fine. Lakshmi asks that why did you bring food here, and she asks if the food is made early, and Rishi says yes. Lakshmi thinks that I cannot go to the kitchen now because I am a guest here. Rishi says you can go to the kitchen. Lakshmi asks, how do you know what I was thinking? Rishi says, I thought you are having pain in your foot, and that is why I brought food for you. Lakshmi says everyone must have not eaten food yet. Rishi asks her not to worry about others, and he asks her to have food. Lakshmi says to Rishi that I will eat food, but you please go and have food too, else you will get scolded. Rishi says you are taking bullet on yourself for me. I cannot get scolded. Lakshmi asks him to stand there and says I will not have food. Rishi goes, but he returns. He says, I knew you will not have food. Lakshmi says, I knew you did not go. She takes the plate and eats the food. Rishi goes. Lakshmi says, stubborn. Rishi also says, stubborn, and Lakshmi smiles. Balvinda calls Malishka. Malishka says, you are a useless person, so go to hell. Balvinda asks her to come out of her house because he is standing outside, else he will come inside. Malishka asks him not to come inside and says, bloody illiterate. Balvinda says people are saying bad about me and you are also saying it, and he asks her to come out. Karishma talks to Ari's parent and says you have sent his picture to the matchmaker, so he will get married now. Someone comes there and keeps hand on her shoulder, and Karishma is shocked. Malishka comes out and started shouting at Balvinda because Balvinda raised his hand thinking that someone had come. Malishka says to Balvinda that I gave you a good chance to marry Lakshmi. She says that illiterate fooled you, and she asks that why didn't you burn in the holy fire? Balvinda says he is burning in the revenge fire currently and says that he did a big mistake by working with Malishka. Malishka asks Balvinda that why did you come here? Did you come here to mourn? Balvinda says I will do repentance and I will make Lakshmi as my wife. Malishka says we cannot marry Lakshmi now. Balvinda says if we need Rishi and Lakshmi, then we have to help each other. Malishka asks Balvinda to get lost, and she says she doesn't need this help. Balvinda says to Malishka that you are taking the help of Monica, that is so now, and now you don't need my help. Malishka asks him to go from there and says your wife is waiting for you because she is Lakshmi's worshipper. She says if Kamli comes to know that I am helping you, then she will tell Lakshmi. Balvinda says Kamli will not know. He asks that why did Rishi took Lakshmi with him to the Obre house, and Malishka says so that Rishi can get Lakshmi married. Karishma says Sonia and says she thought that someone else came. Sonia closes the door and asks that what is the secret. Karishma tells her that she has made a plan to throw Lakshmi out. Sonia gets happy. Karishma says once Lakshmi is out, then she will set Ayush and Ahana straight too. Sonia hopes that Lakshmi gets thrown out of the house soon, and Karishma says her plan can never fail. Malishka tells Balvinda that Rishi is searching for a guy for Lakshmi. Balvinda says what was the problem in me, and why can't I marry Lakshmi? Malishka says Rishi wanted to get Lakshmi married to a good guy, and she asks him to forget Lakshmi and her. Balvinda thinks that he cannot forget Lakshmi and he will get her by any means. In the night, Lakshmi thinks that she wants to go away from here, but Rishi is not letting her go. She gets up from the bed and finds her leg tied with a rope, and the other side of the rope is tied to Rishi, who is sleeping on the sofa. Rishi opens his eyes and says he will not let her go. Lakshmi asks Rishi what he is doing here and says we cannot be in the same room and we are not husband and wife anymore. Rishi says to Lakshmi that the room door is open and my door is also open, so I am in my room technically. Lakshmi asks that why did you tie my foot? Rishi says so that you don't run away. Lakshmi says you are very stubborn. Rishi says I will show you how stubborn I can be, and he walks while Lakshmi gets pulled by the rope along with him. Rishi says now they should sleep. Lakshmi tries to open the rope and then she cuts the rope into two with the scissors. She says I will get scolded if anyone sees you like this, and says don't give any chance to anyone to insult me because we are not husband and wife and we cannot stay in the same room. Rishi says sorry that I tied your leg with mine. I did it so that you don't run away again. Lakshmi tells Rishi that if anyone sees you here, then they will taunt me. Rishi frees his leg and Lakshmi's leg too. Lakshmi says if I want to run, then I can run during the daytime also, but I will not run. Rishi asks, really? Pinky promise. Lakshmi looks on. Rishi says good night and he leaves, while a song plays in the background. Barney asks Shalu to see the color on Nea's clothes and says Aunt will scold us now. Shalu asks her to tell Aunt that it happened due to her. Rano comes there and asks that what are they hiding? She sees color on Nea's clothes and she gets angry. Shalu says I was washing the clothes and this happened. Rano asks that who will give me money for another clothes now, and says that she lost millions of rupees due to Lakshmi. Shalu and Barney ask Rano that what does she mean by she lost money because of Lakshmi. Rano then changes her words and scolds them for making her suffer the losses. She asks them to silently walk and she goes away from there. Shalu says we should make Aunt change her habit and says that they should do something that will remind Rano of her nanny, and they plan on how to give Rano a befitting reply. Okay guys, I'm very much aware that they've already done this yesterday on ZeeWorld and I couldn't do voiceover on it, but I had already edited it, so I didn't want my editing wahala to go to waste, and this is why I decided to do the voiceover and upload it for anyone that still care to watch. Thank you guys for always watching, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.